You're hearing him now. Paul Simon and his wife end up in court.
And here to help us make sense of all the big cases everybody's talking about is attorney Midwin Charles. So welcome, Midwin. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Okay, so let's start with the fallout from the LA Clippers controversy. It is growing, and many are calling for serious action. People want sanctions against the owner for his alleged racist remarks. Also, some are bringing up the issue of freedom of speech, though. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I get some of the arguments made about freedom of speech. As you know, we all can say, pretty much whatever it is that we want. However, when you own a basketball team where 80% of the players, not just on your team, but in the NBA, are black, and you have these views about black people, it is unacceptable. Sports is an area where we all come together, right? Whether you were white, purple, black, purple, or pink, or whatever, we all kind of come together under sports. It's a unifying event. You cannot, in America, in this day and age, own a sports franchise and think this way about people. And what's interesting is, I know they haven't proven that that's his voice on the tape, but he has a history of treating African Americans and Latinos in a poor way. As you know, he's a real estate mogul, and he has faced several federal lawsuits, several federal investigations for failing to rent to families that are black and Latino. And he has paid out millions of dollars to settle those cases.
But that's a different kind of law.
It is a separate kind of law, but what I'm saying is he has a background in being racist.
But is it illegal? Can the NBA legally force him to sell the team?
They can't necessarily force him to sell the team, but they can fine him and they can ban him from running the team, which is what they did to Marge Schott. Remember Marge Schott, who owned the Cincinnati team in 1996? And guess what? After they banned her from running her team, 2 years later, she eventually sold the team.
Right.
What
about so they can put the pressure on you, and they have to send a message.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
they have to send a message that this is unacceptable.
Of tapes coming out, right?
Yeah.
Which apparently even more damning stuff. This girlfriend who taped him, though, was that legal?
It doesn't appear to be. If these tapes took place in the state of California, California requires that both parties of a recording must be aware of the recording. In other words, you can't secretly tape someone without them knowing about it. Now, she's claiming that he knew about it because he has a bad memory. I don't know who would need to refresh their memory about these kinds of statements. No, the wife sued her. This is what makes it so kind of nasty.
It is just a gross little, I don't even know what is going on anymore. I mean, really, you're going to have to keep us posted on this.
That's what's going on.
There you go. Well, now let's talk about another hot mess. Paul Simon ended up in court after a shoving match with his wife. This was surprising.
Yeah, it is very surprising. I mean, I didn't even realize these two were married, by the way. I love Edie Brickell.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, they ended up what appears to be in court, and they seem to have a disagreement or a family dispute. My hope is that they work it out and that the charges get dismissed.
Well, the judge was pretty dismissive of it. He didn't issue any orders of protection or anything like that.
Right, but the Connecticut police did follow up, and they said that anytime they get a call, they do go to the home, and they need to make sure that everything is okay.
Which I think is good. I think you have to do that in domestic cases.
Right.
What's this do to his reputation?
What does
this do to Paul Simon's reputation?
I don't know. I mean, what's interesting is they both got arrested, not just him.
Yeah.
And so I think what it does is perhaps just make him normal, like most married couples who get into an argument and what have you. But I hope neither of them really hurt each other.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to U.S. Rep. Michael Grimm. He's facing some serious charges.
Oh, and it's quite grim.
Is it really? Oh my gosh, tell us
He must hate that his last name is Grimm right now.
I had to go there. I had to go there. Well, what makes this case so interesting is that this is a former FBI agent. This is a former Marine. I mean, you don't get more credentialed. You don't get more respected than that. So to kind of engage in this sort of behavior, it's just shocking. I mean, mail fraud, wire fraud, tax fraud, workers' compensation laws that he broke from a restaurant that he owned. I mean, the accusations are just astounding. And the list just keeps going on and on and on.
Right, but he says it's a timing thing. something, right? I mean, he says that they're trying to attack his
he's running
character.
for re-election.
No, the timing is he got caught.
Yeah.
That's the timing issue for him.
That's what a lot of people are saying, unfortunately.
You know, and even yesterday when the feds were announcing, you know, the indictment, they were saying here he was a veteran saying that he stood for all of these things, and that was not the case at all, according to their indictment.
Allegations.
Exactly.
Right. Absolutely. So he went from one side of the law to the other side.
But he's still a U.S. congressman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still in.
Okay.
Elliot Spitzer, what do you make of that divorce settlement?
Ooh, see, this is what you get. See, this is what you get when you're the good wife.
The good wife. Bam.
When you stand by your man, I guess you get that $7.5 million payout and $240,000 a year until the day she dies.
Unless she gets married, which is
Right, but that's
standard
typical.
operating
That's
procedure
typical.
in these things?
Yes, it is. It's very typical. Some divorce agreements will say that the money stops if you get married or if you live with someone else or if you engage in a relationship with someone else.
This was
They are
pretty
very
clear, though,
specific.
that she can have a relationship.
She just can't get married.
Just can't get married.
Yeah, she just can't
Exactly.
get
So
married.
I hope she finds a nice, young, strapping buck to keep her happy. that doesn't need to get married. There
Like
you
Madonna
go.
and
That's
J-Lo.
it. Exactly. Work.
See whose
Silva.
side you're on. All right. At Midwin, we appreciate it. Midwin Charles just flew in here like 2 minutes ago.
Yes, you did.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your insight.
Thanks for having me.